An unlikely individual has stepped in as part of a plan to prevent Beowulf from ending up behind bars in Emmerdale. On Monday, Bear returned to the police station for further questioning by D.S. Walsh, who was determined to uncover what really happened on the day Ray Walters died. At first, Bear insisted he was alone when Ray lost his life, but Walsh soon exposed a flaw in his story with a clever tactic. The officer asked Bear to recreate the exact knot used to wrap Ray's body before it was placed in a depot van. When Bear failed to tie it correctly, it became clear he was not telling the truth. Trying to shield Paddy Kirk, Bear suddenly admitted that he had intended to kill Ray, which greatly increased the risk of him receiving a life sentence. In the previous episode, Paddy was desperate to find a way to help his father and realized that the only chance of reducing the charge was to confess that he had lied about his whereabouts when Ray died. Paddy and Dylan Penders then went to the station and revealed the truth to Walsh. As a result, both were charged with perverting the course of justice, and because their false statements wasted police time, they were told they would not be going home anytime soon. With both of her loved ones gone, Mandy Dingle was left wandering around the village aimlessly as the next episode began. Chaz Dingle arrived at the house ahead of a meeting with a solicitor named Zara. Inside, a group including Chas, Mandy, April Windsor, Marlon Dingle, and Aaron Dingle listened carefully as Zara outlined what would happen next for Paddy, Bear, and Dylan. She explained that if anyone had seen Ray before he attacked Dylan that day, they could inform the police about his state of mind, which might help convince a jury that Bear acted in self-defense. Later on, Aaron suggested to Mandy that finding someone willing to fabricate a statement about Ray could give Bear, Paddy, and Dylan a better chance of avoiding serious consequences. While at the cafe, Laurel Thomas mentioned that she had seen Ray before he entered Tennant's, giving Mandy and Aaron a possible solution. They asked Laurel to provide a false statement, but she refused, worried that she could also face prison for lying to the authorities. Arthur Thomas overheard their discussion and, unsurprisingly, had strong opinions about Laurel's hesitation. He encouraged her to go ahead with the statement, arguing that it could make a huge difference. But the fear of leaving her children behind if she were caught was too overwhelming, and she stood firm in her decision. Instead, Arthur decided to take matters into his own hands by going to the pub and telling Mandy and Aaron that he would make the statement himself. This could be his way of easing his guilt after recently putting his mother in hospital. The idea of being seen as a hero who helps free 3 people is clearly appealing to Arthur, especially since he recently admitted feeling bored and trapped in the village. Is Arthur simply acting out of kindness? Or could there be another motive behind his actions? 6 major Emmerdale spoilers for next week, 23rd to 27th of March. In the upcoming episodes of Emmerdale, the Dingles take part in a daring cattle theft. The chaos unfolds after Joe attempts to sell Moira's former herd in an effort to assert control over Robert. At the same time, Kane begins to spiral and makes an unexpected move towards charity, while Kim gives Ross a job at Home Farm. Below are the key moments to keep an eye on. You can also explore a gallery of spoiler images from these episodes. 1. Joe pressures Robert and Aaron. The new farm venture gets off to a rocky beginning as Joe uses blackmail against Robert and Aaron regarding the herd, threatening to sell the animals. With little choice, Robert allows the sale to go ahead, but encouragement from Aaron about the importance of family helps renew his resolve to keep fighting. 2. Trouble hits Kane's farm plans. Matty and Mackenzie disclose that they have been secretly gathering information for the Dingles, keeping them updated on Joe's intentions to sell the cattle. However, when Kane realizes they cannot afford to buy their own herd, he begins to lose hope in the farming dream, especially after Sam misses a crucial meeting about equipment. 3. The herd goes missing. During the night, a mysterious figure sneaks onto the farm, and Robert and Aaron are shocked when they learn the cows have vanished. Joe immediately accuses Robert of being responsible, but despite his strong denial, Joe and Graham set off to track down the missing animals. 4. The culprit is exposed. The Dingles insist they are not involved in the theft, yet the true offender is later revealed on a quiet country road. It's Belle. She becomes anxious when Kane points out that a tracking device has been left on the bull. As Joe races along in pursuit, it raises the question of whether escape is still possible, or if the Dingles have another trick planned. 5. Kane becomes concerned about his health. After attending a hospital appointment ahead of surgery, Kane returns home, acting distant while hiding a leaflet. Sarah encourages him to join a support group, but when he does attend, he quickly leaves after reacting badly to another patient discussing how their diagnosis impacted their relationship. 6. Kane makes a move on Charity. Kane later goes to Wishing Well and suffers an emotional outburst, losing control as Charity tries to comfort him. As his anger and drinking escalate, he throws a whiskey bottle, smashing Zach's treasured tankard in the process. When Charity refuses to walk away, Kane attempts to derail everything further by suddenly leaning in to kiss her. Emmerdale fans suspect Joe's dark plan for Lydia after Kim's betrayal. Viewers of Emmerdale are growing concerned about what Joe Tate could do next after discovering a shocking detail in Kim Tate's will involving Lydia Dingle. Joe was left furious and stunned when he learned that, in the event of Kim's death, the home farm estate would be passed on to Lydia instead of him. The revelation didn't sit well with Joe, who was deeply upset at the thought of losing the property, especially as it holds strong personal significance for him. He insisted that the house rightfully belongs to him, making it clear he has no intention of accepting the situation quietly. This reaction has sparked concern among fans, with many now questioning how far he might go to change the outcome. Some viewers believe Joe could attempt to remove Lydia from the picture entirely to prevent her from inheriting the estate. There are even fears that his actions could take a dangerous turn, with speculation that Lydia may be at serious risk. Fans quickly took to social media to share their theories and worries about what might happen next. One viewer questioned whether Joe might go as far as harming Lydia or using extreme tactics to reclaim home farm. Another commented that while the storyline is gripping, it raises concerns about what Joe could do to secure the estate for himself. A third fan urged that Lydia must not be harmed, while others predicted that Joe could try to get rid of her altogether. One final theory suggested that Lydia could become a target as Joe looks for a way to eliminate any obstacles standing between him and the property. Emmerdale airs on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.